Northwest suburbs, thousands of people evacuated from a hotel overnight because of a chemical spill. Several sent to the hospital. Andrea Darlis live in Rosemont this morning with the details. How to you, Andrea?
And good morning, Sean. Yeah, things got a little furried here in Rosemont last night after a chemical leak forced the evacuation of several floors of the Hyatt Regency here in Rosemont. This happened just before 1 o'clock in the morning, and that leak sent hotel guests and attendees to the 2014 annual Midwest Fur Fest scurrying into the streets. Hotel guests were awakened to a strong odor of a chlorine-like smell, they say, between the 9th and 10th floors of the hotel. Now, the Hotel and Convention Center is hosting the annual Fur Fest convention, which is an event where attendees dress up like furry animals and discuss art and literature based on those creatures. The convention center is also hosting a dog show this weekend. Now, there were no serious injuries reported, but after someone called police to report the smell, they evacuated those floors as a precaution.
In one of the corner rooms, people started smelling stuff, getting sick. Then about 10 minutes later, the alarms went off, and here we are evacuated.
We've been asked to leave the hotel for unknown reasons, but we have a lot of costumers out here with big fluffy costumes that'll keep people warm, so at this point, we're not at all worried.
And hotel guests were allowed to return to lower level floors. About 2 hours later, everybody is back in there now. We're back here live, and police reportedly say that they found a broken glass jar containing a chlorine powder that was in the stairwell between the 9th and 10th floors. They're still investigating how that got there. Incidentally, the Midwest Fur Fest and the dog show, they will both resume as scheduled this morning. We're live in Rosemont. Andrea Darlis, WGN News.
Andrea, thank you for that.
Chicago Tribune, 19 people were hospitalized at a furry convention in Illinois after what's being called an intentional leak of chlorine
What's
gas.
a furry convention?
Did I get that wrong?
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Sent the hotel guests along with convention attendees into the cold night, many still dressed in their furry costumes.
We just told Mika what the convention was about. She's...
It's kept everybody warm was the good news. The hotel was
Where are you going?
contaminated.
Hey!
Guests came back inside at 4 a.m.
When you met with Donald Trump, was there anything that you trying to talk to him about, or just kind of like a personal conversation?
All Donald Trump talked about was helping America become great again. That's what he talked about.
Are you going to go to D.C. at all for the
Am I going to
inauguration?
D.C.? Y'all see me in D.C.?
For the inauguration, you're going to go?
Y'all see me in D.C. looking good.
You're gonna...
I got my tux and everything ready, all black affair.
Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind.
Alright, if you'll just bear with me a moment here. Oh good, my audio is working fine there. Yeah, just had to reboot the old computer. Just trying to pull everything back up again. This is just fantastic. So today, I'll just try to jump right into this. Today we're going to be watching the video that James O'Keefe, the Three, put out with Project Veritas. So, I really haven't done much research on this. I just realized that it was coming out today, and I'm only just now realizing that this is about the Deploraball. And this is really fantastic. I was invited to the Deploraball before it was announced. So if you have any questions at all about the Deploraball, I might be one of the better people to ask, because I've spoken to the people who actually put together the Deploraball, and their names are not, you know, Jason or Mike. Is that Jason, because the guy with the Polish last name there? Yeah, if anybody's asking, Mr. Cuck Mindset had nothing at all to do with the creation of the Deploraball. That's just a lie. It's just a media hoax. It's a media hoax. Just looking at the comment section. First comment I see: speak English, you goddamn Canuck. I'm sorry. We want Baked Alaska. I want Baked Alaska too. I sent him a message the other day. I am hashtag Team Baked Alaska. How did Based Alaskan get so red-pilled? I don't know. So, I've been kind of losing my voice the last few days, so I'm going to be drinking tea throughout all of this. But I did, in response to a few of you asking about putting a pop filter on here, the pop gets rid of the pop. It does not, I'm sure I've told that joke 10 times before. The pop filter does not change the word pop to soda. Terrible joke, I'm sorry. And it does not filter out any part of my Canadian accent. Plot twist. Madge is actually Jessica Valenti. Oh, God. It's laryngitis? I'm not sure. I've just been coughing and sniffling a lot lately. I don't think I'm really getting sick. I think I live in a university town, so whenever the kids come back to university, the whole place is just covered with people coughing everywhere. Tea won't help you find your voice. Try to remember where you last put it. Okay, I'll get rid of this here. My beautiful Riven background. Okay, so let's take a look at. Here's my lovely Twitter feed. Yes, this is the first time. Yeah, I saw this just pop into my feed, and I said, "Oh, this is gonna be fantastic." The last time that what's his name, James O'Keefe III, put out a video, I was gonna do videos on it. Then I got busy, and things happened way too much. Things happened too fast. So this time, just gonna be a live stream because there's gonna be more stuff tomorrow. It's gonna be great. Where's the boob cam? I apologize, there is no boob cam. Since we're watching a video on this, I don't want to overload my CPU ATM. I don't want to overload my CPU ATM by asking it to do too many things. Read my tweets. Okay. Okay, Nemo, this will be the pre-show. It's 5 o'clock, I should be drinking, but I only have tea. I didn't prepare enough for this. I just had a bagel with peanut butter on it because I'm a 5-year-old. Waiting on Margaret's belly to fix her audio, like, yes, the libertarians in the office at the Golden Globes. I hope you all follow me on Twitter. I think I do a pretty good job of shit posting. Follow me live for all anons to see. No, none of that. Then we'll just get into following. Mark spending all my money on shoes and makeup. All the privilege grant money. I wish I were more of a shoe girl. I don't own that many shoes. I have an impressive makeup collection. I will say that much. My makeup brushes are worth quite a lot of money. They're investment pieces. Investment. Margaret, when are you going to let me make an honest woman out of you? I'm not sure. One thing I'm going to remind. I should write this down in my book right away, actually. There's in Nova Scotia, we have a progressive conservative AGM every February. I haven't been too involved in local politics here. You're just hearing me flip through my journal here. I'm never too involved in local politics, but I always show up when there's availability of open bars, because you know me. And this year I got a message from a buddy. He's like, hey, you're coming to the shindig this year. We're having a bunch of conservative leadership candidates coming down for an open forum. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun. So what is it? It's almost February. I'm gonna write that in right away. I forget. I have 4 different pen colors for all my different things that I do. I will put in the next card in that and deal with it later. That's what I'm gonna do. Nova Scotia. Yeah. I said Nova Scotia. Have you updated your Amazon gift crap yet? Oh yeah. Yeah, I need to show that more often. I'm the worst girl on the internet ever. I don't even have my boobs out on camera. Occasionally I talk about hockey. Oh, did you guys see? If any of you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen the best video. I'm gonna take 1 minute. We're still in the pre-show. I'm gonna take 1 minute here and show you this fantastic video footage I have of Justin Trudeau, wonderful Justin Trudeau, getting booed at an Oilers game. I'm okay with the Oilers. I am, well, because I'm East Coast Canadian and we're more English speaking than anything, I'm contractually obligated to be a Maple Leafs fan, so make fun of me if you'd like. But I'm down with the Oilers. Down with the Oilers. I think they just have really good coaching. I've never really been disappointed whenever I catch an Oilers game. So this Yeah, hockey in Canada is always Saturday night. That's Hockey Night in Canada. I think somebody was complaining on my last live stream that I was live streaming at the same time as a Kings game, and I can appreciate that because Gretzky was on the Kings, but that's also when Gretzky scored on his own net. But yeah, Kings are an acceptable hockey team on this channel. Pens are also acceptable because I live in Sidney Crosby Town. So let's just watch this. Trudeau getting his ass booed. Yeah, so that's Trudeau getting himself booed, and I don't know if that was a home game out in Edmonton. Somebody in the comments says, Margaret has a Trudeau poster in her room. True fact, true story, I had a Stephen Harper poster in my room at university, and I covered it with hearts, just because it was wonderful to see people come into my room and just be faced amongst all my Sailor Moon posters, because yes, I'm one of those people. Amongst the Sailor Moon posters was a Stephen Harper poster covered in hearts. It was a conversation starter, I will tell you that much. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Trudeau hasn't had a really good term this time around, has he? It's probably worthwhile to do a video on like the top 10 disasters of, you know, Monsieur Trudeau. What else has he been up to? Yeah, he's been getting a lot of flack lately. He's going around visiting a lot of places. I think he'll be in Dartmouth, which is right next to Halifax, in a couple of days there. Yeah, Trudeau's already, well, he went to that Aga Khan place in the Bahamas, which is pretty, pretty not cool. He has all of his, you know, pay for access fundraiser dinners, which if you're American, Trudeau is kind of doing the same thing as the Clinton Foundation, where it's basically pay to play. You know, he has all these ridiculous healthcare negotiations going on, and one thing I haven't been following much is are all the troubles that he's been having with coal power, and also that ridiculous carbon tax. That ridiculous carbon tax. So that's enough about what's going on in Canada, eh? Let's head back to what's happening. Yeah, so if you're just joining me now, we are going to be watching James O'Keefe's undercover video. I think this is only about short, about 6 or 7 minutes long. I think I'll just let it play all the way through, and then we'll talk about it after. I'll just kind of take notes. We'll just go all the way through it. And I was actually the Deplorable was started by MAGA3X. I know the people who started the Deplorable. It is not Mr. Gorilla Mindset, and it's nobody else that you would have ever heard of. I was invited to the Deplorable when it was still supposed to be a free event for people who memed Trump into the presidency. And what else is important about the Deplorable? Yeah, I used to be one of the admins on the MAGA3X Facebook page, so I do know quite a bit about the Deplorable. Despite being Canadian, I managed to get myself wrist deep into American politics because it's just so funny, guys. So let's give this a shot. This up on YouTube. Get all nice and cozy. Yeah, I can reach my neighbor's Xbox from here. I've been trying to figure out what video I ought to try to push onto him first. I don't know if you guys have ever seen there's a Ricky Berwick. He's fantastic. I might try to start pushing Ricky Berwick onto the neighbor's Xbox. Or maybe he should secure his system a little better. Okay, so let's enjoy this. I'm going to be taking notes as we go along. So hopefully I will have something interesting to talk about, and hopefully you guys will have some interesting questions for me. So tell me what you guys think as we go along. I'm going to keep an eye on your comments too. All right, are we all cozy? All right, all right.
Yeah, if you had a freaking pint of butyric acid, I don't care how big the building is, it's closed and it's staying closed for a while.
And this stuff is like, it's very efficient. It's very, very smelly. It lasts a long time, and a little of it goes a long way. I know, I'm trying to think through how to get all the sprinklers throughout the board. There's usually a piece of like fusible metal or a piece of glass and a liquid in it that'll blow.
This is undercover video of potential criminal acts being planned. These organizers and activists are talking about setting off butyric acid into the ventilation system and setting off fire alarm sprinklers at a Trump inaugural ball later this week. What you're about to see is part one of our hidden camera investigation into the groups and organizations that seek to cause havoc and violence at the Trump inauguration in Washington, D.C.
I, Ronald Reagan.
I, George Herbert Walker Bush.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
Please lock the doors. Please lock the doors. Lock him, lock him, lock him. Don't let them in.
Hey, I just want to say one thing to the person on the phone.
Can you please move out of my way?
His regards.
The next 4 years, we are going to fight Trump and everything he stands for with no quarter asked, no quarter given, no mercy of any kind.
Throw them all under the bus. I mean, just fuck it up. I like the idea of the goal being that they have to pull the inauguration inside.
Be prepared to help make the inauguration a giant cluster fund.
No fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
Shortly after the election, we started getting tips that radical groups are planning to derail President-elect Trump's inauguration, perhaps even trying to shut down the city of Washington, D.C. Various groups, some old, some new, have gathered together under the Disrupt J20 umbrella. Progress Unity Fund, Workers' World Party, Americans Take Action, Answer Coalition, and many more. Today's investigation focuses on these guys from the D.C. Anti-Fascist Coalition.
The message has to be that, we do not recognize the city government either. If you try to close this down, we will look for your house, we will burn it, we will physically fight the police if they try to clear one of our places. We will go to war, and you will lose.
Early on, one of our journalists was sent an email inviting him to a planning meeting. The discussion centered around disrupting the Deploraball, a big pro-Trump inaugural ball scheduled the night before the inauguration.
I mean, it would be really interesting if we could stop them from having the Deploraball in Hall. Yeah.
It was at this meeting where we met Scott Green, Luke Kuhn, and Colin Dunn. They were very gung-ho and clearly well-versed in the dark arts of sabotage.
We already know what we're all there for, so we won't be... Okay, so we don't have to use the word deplorable at all. Yeah. And things like that. So just in case there are yahoos in there...
Through emails, another meeting was set up at the infamous Comet Ping Pong Pizza Restaurant in Northwest Washington, D.C.
I was thinking of things that will ruin the evening, ruin their outfits, or otherwise make it impossible to continue with their plans, make sure they get nothing accomplished.
The Deploraball is being held here at the National Press Club in downtown Washington, D.C. The plan: set off butyric acid stink bombs, forcing everyone to evacuate the premises.
Yeah, if you had a freaking pint of butyric acid, I don't care how big the building is, it's closed and it's staying closed for a while.
And this stuff is it's very efficient. It's very, very smelly. It lasts a long time, and a little of it goes a long way.
To repeat the original plan, we could use more of that same stuff, and I can rig the cans with a plunger, some stiff rubber bands, and a safety pin thing. So all you got to do is pull the pin and press the plunger, the whole pin discharges.
This is the way we have to brainstorm and think of what can we do that will accomplish the mission.
So that is bad enough. That stuff is nasty enough that it will spread. It will get into the HVAC system and hit the whole building.
The best possible location to get to it is the air intake grill for the entire HVAC.
Yeah. The actions could constitute a violation of anti-terrorism laws, a felony with a possible 5-year prison sentence and a significant fine. As the meeting continued, Colin Dunn and Scott Green made a plan to scout the location where the Deploraball is being held.
You want to case the place?
I can do that.
I mean, you want to do it together?
Say, it may work better with two people. That way it's not one person's memory saying, here's where everything is.
Yeah.
There was also talk about setting off the fire alarm sprinklers in the building. Plan B, if the stink bomb effort failed.
I know, I'm trying to think through how to get all the sprinklers up at once. There's usually a piece of fusible metal or a piece of glass and a liquid in it that'll blow. I need to research and make sure that we can actually get them to all trigger if we trigger one. Yeah. And the added benefit, everybody as they walk outside will get freezing cold.
Yes, yes.
A few days later, our journalists received this email from Scott Green. Quote, "The reconnaissance went pretty well. and we left with the confidence that we can accomplish our objective with no negative consequences for our side, nor any collateral damage. We determined that the risks posed by these potential crimes were of such a magnitude that we decided to alert law enforcement. Last week, our journalists met with agents from the FBI, the Secret Service, and the D.C. Metro Police to report our findings.
We found that both the Disrupt J20 and the D.C. Anti-Fascist Coalition were plotting to shut down some of the inaugural balls that were occurring, using butyric acid, shutting off sprinkler systems. So we're thankful that the FBI and the task force is looking into this, and we hope that there will be charges brought soon.
Just to be clear, we don't have a problem with people protesting peacefully or voicing their First Amendment rights. That's protected by the Constitution. But in this case, Disrupt J20 says openly that their plan is to shut down the inauguration. The question is, where do these people draw the line? Do these individuals and groups have any problem with what we're reporting here? Stay tuned, because next we go deeper and deeper into the dangerous world of Disrupt J20, and we find out just who is behind all of it.
Alright, so nice short video this time. You're supposed to be discussing the video, not discussing which superhero I'm supposed to be. There's one DC card building game I like to play where I normally pick Wonder Woman. But yeah, I think Power Girl is probably more my style with the boob window and all that. Everyone, no arguing at webcam. My poor CPU, I'm not gonna... maybe we'll do a stream later, and it'll just be me on it. How about that? How about that, everybody? I'll perhaps get some wine. We'll hang out. Hey, lovely Margaret, are you going to the U.S. for Trump's inauguration? I was invited to the inauguration. I was invited to the Deplorable, but no, I will be staying in Halifax. I don't make enough money. I don't make enough money to be going to DC inaugurations. I'll probably plan ahead and go to his next inauguration. How about that? Okay, so I'm just going to mute this, kind of go through it again. So yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of Antifa, so the anti-fascist people. What is it? I'm noticing a few things right off the bat. First off, they're all a bunch of lazy hippies, and none of them have chemistry degrees. So I'm starting to wonder where they were getting the idea for the butyric acid. So what, was it used in a TV show recently, or? I'm gonna look this up right now. Butyric acid. GoFundMe for inaugural travel costs. Nah, I don't want to be that guy. I don't know, if I wanted to go to the inauguration, I'd probably start having to do a lot more chin-ups a lot earlier. I was doing sit-ups last week and something snapped in my guts, so I decided to just take it easy. I'm just going to be a little soft for a few weeks until that's straightened out. Butyric acid in media. Let's take a look. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Butyric acid. I don't have a chem degree either. What the hell do I know? All I know is that it takes about a pint of that stuff, and you can pretty much MacGyver it into the HVAC system. So these guys are trying to go full Hyatt recency. Was it Ballistic says butyric acid is used to disrupt Japanese whaling. Oh, okay, so this is kind of an old school, new school hippie tactic. Good thing I'm not a whaler. Comment section. I bet Antifa is resourceful in terms of violent wank job wishful thinking goals. Butyric acid is always showed in middle high school. Oh, is it? We never got to play with anything that interesting. Best thing we did in high school was cut apart a frog, which was pretty cool. I will never forget the smell of that frog, though. Oh no, I've displeased Keck. I shouldn't say that. Hey Madge, do you want me to get in contact with the chem degree shitlord? Hey, if he wants to hop on the comment section, start telling us more about this butyric acid. You know, I'm pretty sure these guys may have only read the Wikipedia entry on this stuff. Let's take a look. And I would have been screwed if I had gone down there for that. I would have picked up traveler's insurance. But butyric acid, I guess it works on your intestinal tract, which is something not good. Let's zoom right in on that. Butyric acid comes from the Greek root word meaning butter. It's a carbolaxic. It's found in milk, especially goats and in Parmesan trees. Okay, so this is the stuff that makes Parmesan smell like vomit. I understand that. Okay, it's also found in milk chocolate produced by the Hershey process. Oh, okay, that's why Hershey's chocolate tastes so absolutely terrible. Now, somebody in Germany keeps sending me amazing German chocolate, and I can never, ever, ever go back. It's so fantastic. German and British people know their chocolate. No, that's not supposed to be a racial thing. It has nothing to do with migrants. They just really understand how to mix chocolate properly. Not a racial thing. Just chocolate. Butyric acid is present in and is the main distinctive smell of human vomit. We all know that smell. It's the same smell in vomit as it is in Parmesan, which is odd. I think it was on one of those Stephen Fry shows. There's 20 shows with Stephen Fry in it. QI. I think that's where they were talking about Parmesan when I first heard of this stuff. It has an unpleasant smell and acrid taste, with a sweetish aftertaste similar to ether. So I'm Margaret's German sugar daddy. Yeah, literally. Okay. Yeah, so it smells like vomit. Smells like Parmesan. I only like one of those things. And it's a product of anaerobic fermentation, including in the colon and as body odor. Okay, so I make less of this stuff than you guys because I do not have a colon. You all smell a lot more like vomit than I ever will. Okay, but yeah, we have that nice little interview with the Antifas. Probably in some Applebee's or something with a football in the background. They couldn't even get it together to meet up in, a fair trade coffee shop. Had to go to fucking Applebee's. I noticed, just reading my notes, the Antifa are given a lot of fighting words, even though it's pretty obvious they do not even lift. Yeah, Scott, Luke, and Colin. Sounds pretty white there, boys. Oh, white. And they're into the dark stuff. That's also a very good thing. They were also meeting at Comet Pizza. I missed a bit of that, so I'll let the chat catch up on the Comet Pizza joint. The chat saying, I suspect Margaret is a reincarnation of Sultana or Roxana, Sultan Suleiman's chief consort, who was taken in as a slave raid on southern Poland. I'm not Polish, though. Do you think Sam Hyde is going to do this? You guys all know Sam Hyde originally had a ticket to the Deplorable, but I forgot the name of the guy he gave it to. He gave his ticket to somebody else. Sam Hyde gave his Deplorable ticket to somebody who will absolutely guarantee that there's going to be Roman salutes at that event. I'm going to have to do a live stream while the Deplorable is on, because I know 20,000 things are going to happen while the Deplorable is on. It's going to be great. It's going to be a meltdown show. Going to be a lot of nuts. Got nuts stuff going on there. It's going to be Sam Hyde again. Oh yeah, I think Sam Hyde gave it to an actual Nazi. We all saw I'm guessing we're all aware of the rightstuff.com doxing that went on. But, so we know the difference between an actual Nazi and somebody LARPing as a Nazi, and Sam Hyde gave his ticket to an actual Nazi, like, been in jail, actual Nazi. Oh man, I was kind of glad I'm not going to that. I don't it's too much for my tastes, I think. Yeah, Comet Pizza, the place under suspicious amount politicians go to, tied to Pizzagate. Totally Pizzagate. Sam Hyde did December 7th. Pretty sure Sam Hyde killed that MLK, too. Oh, Emily Eucas is going, too. Oh, my. Oh, I hope there's going to be periscopes going on then, boys. TRS's kill, they were just a bunch of they were always just a bunch of LARPers. I've never actually heard any. I've heard good things about, the content. If you listen to that content, I've heard good things, but I've never actually listened to it myself. Chernovich Thurnovich is going to have himself fooled after talking shit about Richard Spencer. Oh, has he? I love all this. It's fantastic. I'm just a Canadian, and I am just a Canadian. I'm just a conservative in Canada. I like the Queen, and I'm glad that she's staying alive for as long as possible. There's not even such thing as alt-right in Canada because we're a monarchy. It's a much different system. Thurnovich. Yeah. Cuck mindset. Gorilla mindset. Margaret, you subscribe to Styx Hex and Hammer 666. Oh no, of course he did a video. I need to watch more of his stuff. Well, One of my favorite songs on YouTube, one of my favorite totally original songs on YouTube is under his music channel, which is Fat Hawaiian Man. And it's a... what was it called? I trolled because they were gay. I disavow the name of that video, but it's a really good song. Yeah, YouTube, yeah, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel named Fat Hawaiian Man. The Queen is dead and the media are hiding it. So the media are hiding both Assange's body and the Queen's at the same time. Oh yeah, get back to the acid. My goggles, they do nothing. So let's take a look at this wiki article and see if we can't figure out why these bunch of hippies thought that this was the proper acid. It's probably easy to get. It's probably easy for them to get, and that's probably why they want to go for it. It won't actually kill anybody, it'll just make everybody throw up a lot and ruin their clothes, which I'm going to assume. They were saying that, you know, even if nobody gets sick, and even if all we do is pull the, you know, pull the fire alarm, get the water going, they said they'll have to go outside, and it'll be cold, so we'll get them there. Which I think is a reversal of the take their coats phenomenon. So for every coat that was taken at a Trump rally away from hippies who are protesting, they are going to take a coat from a pro-Trump memer. Sam Hyde shot Harambe. You're not supposed to tell people. I'm gonna take a look at the comments. Randall, Gary, Sam Hyde created AIDS. I have a, right there. Yeah, the Sea Shepherd uses this stuff. So this is what the kids on the Sea Shepherd are always chucking at people. Bunch of little jerks. You know, these guys are allowed to have butyric acid, but I'm not allowed to have pepper spray. If somebody attacks me, I've got nothing left except to stab them, you know? Stab them and start screaming loudly. So yeah, if they can't get into any of the systems there, they would just start putting it into the air grill, the air intake grill. I feel like these guys don't know that much about how buildings are designed. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna, you're just gonna go in there and just dump a pint of this stuff and somehow not mess it up. I don't know, nothing will ever beat the faux gassing of the furries at the Hyatt Regency with chlorine. I don't think that was even real, was it? Or like, I'm not sure if anybody went in there intentionally trying to gas the furries, but it made us all laugh, which is very important. Sam Hyde rigged the election. He sure did. Are you really right-wing, or are you just meme-wing? The memes are just, they're just part of the fun, really. I was right-wing back when memes were still called fads in the You're the Man Now dog days. So these are their anti-terrorism countermeasures. They're going to dump a pint of really smelly, gross stuff in the air, or they're just going to pull the fire alarm. Because this is high school. They can't think any further than that. They don't really want to do anything except just slightly inconvenience everybody there and maybe ruin everybody's clothing at the same time. Nothing beats mace better than a bag of dog. Oh, like poor Martin got chucked at him the other day? Yeah, instead of well, I do have an ostomy bag if I really wanted to throw a bag of shit at anybody. I have the ability. I'm a lot more equipped for that than anyone else. Do you think it's just a prank, bro? That's all they were gonna do? So, ugh. Due to its powerful odor, it's also been used as a fishing bait additive. Okay, so they can get commercially available flavored butyric acid. It's just as their ester base, so I don't know what other things would be attached to it. I guess, yeah, probably all you'd have to do is go purchase. I don't really want to, I don't know if it's legal in Canada. I don't really want to Google, where can I get butyric acid? Where can I buy 1 pint of this? Garlic flavored. Margaret v. Lauren, go. No, that's alright. We don't need to fight. There's only like 5 worthwhile Canadians. Don't make us fight. Throwing your ostomy bag at somebody could be the receiver's fetish. Well, if it is, that's his problem. Then I really want to get away from them. What else? Okay, back to the butyric acid. This substance has also been used as a stink bomb by Sea Shepherd Conservation Societies by the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. that's hard to say, to disrupt Japanese whaling crews, as well as by anti-abortion protesters to disrupt abortion clinics. Okay, is that even true? I'm really very pro-choice.org. I never really hear about people bombing abortion clinics. There's more abortion clinics have been bombed on CSI than have been bombed in real life. It really doesn't happen. When was the last time you left your country? I don't know, a couple of years ago? I'd like to visit America. America's pretty great. Yep, Pharaoh whaling for life. Yep, should hunt down all those right whales. Those right-wing whales. Get the alt-right whales. Guess you don't have to go that far in America to find whale tears. Ugh, it's in kombucha. Gross. This really is just wonderful, wonderful hippie stuff, isn't it? And it's on a whole bunch of different... these are really awful bacterias that will really mess up your gut tract. Comment section says, America is great, also kill the whales. Yeah, I do not have a designated shitting street. I have a designated shitting bag. Thank you. I know a feminist that bombed an abortion clinic with a Molotov cocktail made of plastic bottle from a Range Rover. That's really fancy, man. Pro-choice is unbiased. Well, pro-choice tries to make itself look as unbiased as possible by calling itself pro-choice when really it's just pro-killing babies. Okay, then this gets into a whole bunch of chemical talk that I could probably say, but I will not understand. Not going to pretend I can understand this. I wonder if any of this would hurt frogs. And the more I think about it, the more, frog DNA really does run in all of us. Tay, is that you? Okay. Oh, so we're feeding this stuff to diabetics now. This is interesting. It would take me a few too many minutes to figure this out. But Butyric comes in inhibiting the growth of cancer cells in the colon, yada yada yada. So tell us how exactly it'll screw people up. Therapy effects. Okay, it's good for people who are fat and who have diabetes. Ooh, a picture. I still don't understand it. Let's figure this out. Uses, safety, uses. Yep, so mostly it's used to catch fish and to screw up abortion clinics and to throw at Japanese people. So there's a very strong racial quality here. Very, very strong racial quality. There's going to be more of these videos. There's going to be another one tomorrow. So what do you guys think? If you were, make sure, ask me any questions you have about the deplorable. Because I probably know more about that than I probably should. There's no reason for a Canadian to know this much about the deplorable. Just give the chat a minute to catch up to that. This channel has now become a meme. No, you can't, memes are not forced. A meme is just a word for an idea, really. You can't force an idea, and good ideas will get out there. You can make perfume out of this stuff by mixing it with chemicals that turn the smell into fruit smells like banana. Huh. How much gay boning is there going to be at the deplorable scale from 1 to 10? I don't know. Well, there is a gay deplorable. There's a deplorable and there's a gay deplorable. I'm guessing one is going to be a lot more gay than the other. Who uninvited you? Oh, I got uninvited from the deplorable once the ticket prices went up to $250 and I got removed from the MAGA 3X Facebook page as an admin. So yeah, I noticed one issue that I had with the deplorable, I guess the MAGA 3X page. What I wanted to do with MAGA 3X was to really start kind of a radio station thing, you know. Instead of having all these disparate personalities doing periscopes all the time, I said, well, why don't we just set up an ad hoc YouTube channel and just live stream to it for 8 hours a day and just constantly go over, deplorable or meme or, 4chan or Trump-related news. I said, you know, there's only a few weeks before the election. That would be very, very interesting. But there wasn't any room in the budget for me. Then I noticed that Mike, Mr. Gorilla Mindset himself, I don't think it was him exactly who was posting it, but one of the other guys working for the Deplorable was posting advertisements for Mike's MAGA 3X book. So it wasn't actually Mike posting that. Somebody else was posting Mike advertisements, which I wasn't quite happy with that. So I didn't really do much work. I did almost no work on MAGA 3X, but because I was kind of there at the start, I was still invited because I've still done other nice things for you lovely, lovely Americans. The Deplorable would be fun as hell to go to, except, I don't know, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm brave enough to hang around that many Roman salutes and Hindu peace signs. I'm not edgy enough for that. Did you get paid for MAGA 3X? No. Most of the people doing work for MAGA 3X did not get paid. When will your Panda Mindset book be out? I guess it would probably take me a couple of... I really wonder how quick it would take me to write a book and then not edit it and just release it. I should probably do that. There's always a few book ideas that I would love to do, but I'd rather spend a couple of months working very hard on it before I put it out there. Now, the best thing about all the like the mindset books, it's not even just Mike putting things out, but anybody putting out a book about mindset, it's really them just parroting whatever their therapist or psychologist told them. Days maybe. Butyric acid was used in the show Whale Wars on Discovery. Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're definitely chucking stuff at whales. Holy cow, you guys. Margaret doesn't even have to cease shitposting to use the washroom. Not at all. Margaret seems to get fired right before all the controversy starts. Yeah, it's true. I don't have it in my head to want to stick around whenever things are going straight to hell. And I don't mind telling people what I think. Pepe mindset. How to keck when it's cloudy. Parrot mindset. Okay, this is interesting. The butyric acid, the reason it gets chucked at Japanese people is that it impregnates the whale meat so that it cannot be sold. I think that you just invented a new sort of hentai right there. Chucking chemicals at Japanese people and then impregnating whales with chemicals so that when people go to eat the meat, they start throwing up. I knew it. Hentai everywhere. We invented something new. Hooray! Everybody clap. The A&E whale whores use it? I didn't realize that Whale Wars was a thing until I saw the South Park episode on it. It's not nasty to see hentai everywhere, is it? What's wrong with that? Oh man, I was watching a conversation the other day and people were shocked that Baby Froze existed. It's like, oh man, you don't even know how far down it goes, friends. Clap, clap, clap. Oh, hello, humongous. So it looks like we just have a whole bunch of hippies who thought that they were incredibly brilliant. They were going to try to break into a hotel and then poison, but not quite kill. They were just going to try to poison everybody involved at this event. That was their grand scheme. Grand scheme, I don't know, just chuck something smelly at them. So, you know, Cartman even comes up with better schemes than these guys. Whom would you hang out with from the MAGA set? A lot of people, really. I'm still team Baked Alaska. He's a lovely person. I think he's one of the guys who's like actually alt-right. I'm not quite sure. Why do you watch hentai? I don't watch it, but it's there all the time because it's just so funny. It fills my heart with love and joy. I've spent a lot of time on the internet. I've been here since You're the Man Now Dog days. So it takes a lot to shock me. So I don't mind looking at shocking stuff, except I saw something entitled, I think I mentioned this before, I saw a webm entitled trans_surgery. And that was a little too much for me. But I find that it's always good to kind of push your limits. Carton came up with their greatest revenge plot ever. Do you mean when he fed Scott Tenorman's parents to Scott Tenorman, or when he decided to just sell smearing poop on people's walls? Please clap. Hey Verilo, I don't know, I wouldn't really believe most of the stuff about Baked Alaska being a shill, but then again I'm biased because I've spoken to him, and I know him. I like his work. Well, I don't know, he used to write for Breitbart. I don't know what happened then. I haven't really caught up with him for a while. I know, I'm pretty sure everybody's a shill. Literally everybody is a shill. Comment section says, "We'll make the inauguration smell bad." Oh wow, real rebel work there. Do you think the alt-right will eat itself? I'm not sure. I still think that the alt-right is way bigger than everybody's saying that it is. A lot of people use hashtag alt-right to bump their own SEO ratings. So a lot of people talk about the alt-right and how it's totally this way and it's totally not this way. People will write a lot of articles about the alt-right just to get it into, just so their website can show up really, really, high if somebody Googles for the alt-right. I'm sure that you guys saw this with, I can't believe I mentioned Gamergate, but remember how during the Gamergate days, all the different video websites would start hashtagging everything with Gamergate and adding Gamergate to the tags on the article, even if it had nothing to do with, Five Guys, Burgers, and Fries. People do the same thing with the alt-right. They'll write an article that has nothing to do with the alt-right, then in the last paragraph they'll say, yada yada, PS the alt-right, and then they'll tag it as alt-right, and they do that in enough articles, so they don't have to proclaim themselves to be alt-right, and they don't really have to follow along with the alt-right. But when you Google alt-right, you find their WordPress WordPress document pretty fast. The alt-right is headed by the alt-right is it's hard to say. I still believe that the alt-right is the comments section at tackymag.com. I've been saying that for a very long time whenever people ask me about the alt-right. To understand the alt-right, you just have to read tackymag.com and then read the comments section afterwards. That's the alt-right mindset. Five Guys, hamburgers, and fries. Yeah, and there's a hot dog stand there now, too. Interesting, isn't it? Keemstar at the inauguration? Oh man, that would be good. It is. I'd say that the alt-right is generally leaderless, but then there's a whole bunch of people who've had their own things going on, and they're constantly trying to get their name out there too. Well, it was really funny. I think I'm just going to keep mentioning this in every stream in the next couple of months, but we're in the period known as the Great Resorting, or the Great Reshuffling, where everybody is still trying to figure out who's on whose side. So there's a lot of backstabbing, there's a lot of et tu brutes going on. Who is more alt-right, Milo or Gavin? Neither. Neither are alt-right. Nobody who proclaims themselves to be a leader of the alt-right is actually liked at all by the alt-right. That is if we're judging alt-right based on Infinite Chan poll and the Tacky Mag comment section. E-celebs are on their own side. Yeah, well, they're an e-celeb if they can't do anything without putting their name all over it, and then also pumping their book and pumping their t-shirts. Donald Trump was too successful. He shook up everything. Yeah, we're in the Great Resorting, and we're also in the Great Shookening. This is the period of life we're in. I think the Great Shookening started when Senk, what's his name, started having his meltdown about Hillary losing. Yeah, when the Young Turks had their meltdown, that was the start of the Great Shookening. Real alt-right is white nationalism. I'm not sure what anything is anymore. I'm still up here in Canada trying to figure out what on earth you Americans are up to. It's quite fun. In all fairness, I've never heard of Milo or McInnes claiming to be alt-right. But Milo he's one of those people who always crams hashtag alt-right at the end of his articles. He's saying, this is also a concern of the alt-right, even though I'm not alt-right, yada yada yada, this is still what they care about. Yeah, so he's really just doing that for search engine optimization purposes. They're all doing it just to make sure that their name gets up higher in all different searches. Hashtag literally shaking. Hashtag the shookening. Do you think Gamergate led to Trump's victory? No, but I'd lie about it. I would totally appear in a national news thing and be like, oh yeah, Gamergate is the reason Trump won. And I try not to cry laughing. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people claiming to be alt-right, and they're just trying to define it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Milo's behavior is attention-seeking, textbook. Well, Milo's behavior is attention-seeking. It would be a lot more reasonable. Like, His attention-seeking behavior would be a lot more reasonable if he spent more time working on new ideas than he did, you know, just trying to shook people. Are Canadians more naive than Americans when it comes to the mainstream media? It really depends. The CBC in Canada gets 1.1 billion Canadian dollars every year just to tell us what to think. I don't really care too much about Canadian politics, not until they get rid of the CBC. Whoever decides for their next platform for the Conservative Party of Canada says, I'm going to burn down the CBC and salt the earth from whence it came, I will vote for that person. You know my stance on the French. You know that I do not like French people. But I think that Maxime Bernier, with the Conservative Party of Canada, stands a pretty good chance of getting into kind of, you know, the top 1 or 2 of people who might be the head of the party. CBC is the Canadian Ministry of Truth. There are good people at the CBC. Problem is, they end up soaking up all the journalists who have a lot of degrees. If you have a lot of degrees, it means that you have a lot of connections in academia. So you end up hiring a lot of people who are smart, but they have a very academic focus because they do have the advanced degrees. So the CBC is hiring academics who are also journalists. And I'm sure that you can tease out the problem there. Let's see. Here goes Margaret on the French question again. Yeah. Yeah, this is why I'm not alt-right. I like Israel. It's the French that I don't like. Can never get rid of them. I too hate the French. It is the law in England. The BBC is trash. I don't really watch too much CBC, but I'm going to assume it's trash. Take a look. Margaret, do you have any loose definition of alt-right that you currently hold? I would say that the alt-right is similar to any kind of right-wing, except they instead of tying things to money, the way that money's being moved around, they tie everything to a race more than culture. I find that a lot of right-wingers will always tie a country to its culture. You know, we will talk about demography, but we won't get stuck purely on, you know, racial this or racial that, and that I find that the alt-right tends to use race as an explanation for everything. You pay for the CBC. You or I don't watch it. Not good. Yep. Absolutely terrible. Character in LOL is your fave, Margaret. I tried to play LOL. I failed terribly. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I X'd right out of that. I was playing Half-Life last night. That's what I did last night. What's your opinion on Israel's influence on U.S. foreign policies? Not really too much opinion. The reason... There's 1,200 different things to talk about in terms of Israel, but I like Israel because it's the one place that I could go in the Middle East where I would be treated like a person. I guess them and Lebanon. Lebanon ain't bad. Jordan's pretty good too. There's only a few places in the Middle East where I would be considered a person. That's one of the reasons I like Israel. I also like Lebanon, but nobody talks about that. Nobody asks me my opinion on Lebanon. It's like, well, Margaret, like, are you red-pilled on the Jordan question? Speaking of culture, Trudeau says Canada has no culture. Ugh, Mr. Trudeau is just a backpacker, ski instructor. Yeah, snowboarding instructor, sorry. Canada has lots of culture. It's fun. Oh yeah, Canada has no culture, and then somebody from Canada goes to, I don't know, an Asian country, and they're like, wow, everything is so different here. Well, okay, that's Japanese culture, and everything that's different is a part of Canadian culture. What's your opinion on lesbian and ons? They do not exist. Lesbians are real. Lesbian and ons do not real. Is Milo on drugs? I'm not sure. Let's see. So should Le Pen save the French, or should they just be garbage bagged? The reason I don't like the French is the reason why the French will always survive. It's because you can't get rid of them. We had a small infestation of the French 400 years ago in Canada, and look at them now. They're still everywhere. Very, very small infestation of the French centuries ago. And even though we completely cut the French politics out, we had the Jesuits that just kind of sunk right in, and we haven't been able to get rid of them since, and they make up a major voting bloc, and a Frenchman might be the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada next. So you can't really kill French culture. A lot of people in Quebec are atheistic now, but they're still very culturally French, and being culturally French also means being culturally Catholic. You're not going to get the Catholic French to get rid of the names, you know, Rue Saint Catherine. The French know that their culture is a lot better than a lot of other people's. So I think that they might actually be the first ones to push back culturally. I noticed that Morocco banned the burqa recently too. I think that the French will be among the first to go out and push back culturally, if not in numbers of migrants who are there. Margaret is going to get doxxed and we will learn she has a French father and is dating a French lesbian. No, just too many Scottish and Irish people in my town for that. Culturally French is like butyric acid. The French are facing a major immigration crisis from the Middle East. It's actually affecting their culture. See, that's where the French are going to push back. Once the French are there, once French culture is involved in anything, yeah, it'll be a reconquista. Very true. What is your opinion on Mexicans? I never met that many Mexicans, so probably just a mildly positive opinion of Mexicans, because I am Canadian. Okay, the French will sort themselves out in the end. Frexit? Yeah. No, Lauren Southern is not a thought. How dare you? How dare you call her a thought? The Middle East influx by globalist goons is going to fail. Okay, we've been at this for about an hour now. I think that things are probably going to keep getting more and more interesting. I'm probably going to be back tonight, probably reading through some Reddit relationship threads. This is the thing. Since today is Blue Monday, it means that this is the day that the most people are like killing themselves, and it's the day that most people are depressed, and it's the day that most people are going through divorces and breaking up, which means it's one of the best days to read people's relationship problems on the internet. So I'll come back later and we will do a lot. It'll be a cam show, quote unquote cam show. Yes, Lauren is a cute Hispanic dude. Hispanic. Yeah, we'll be talking about relationship problems on Reddit later. So I quite enjoy it. I like reading about other people's misery. And I'll be done up all pretty. How about that? So let's say it's 6 o'clock in Canada right now, which means it's 5 o'clock in America. Are you guys mostly on American time zones here, or a few of you from Europe? We'll schedule this for about 2 hours time. That'll give me time to eat again. Gonna make a nice stir fry. Relationship problems, my favorites. Hashtag unboxing. Okay, spanwich time here. So let's say in about 2 hours. Maybe 2.5 hours? Yeah, it's 6 o'clock in Canada. So it'll probably be between sometime 7 or 8 tonight. Let's round it over it. Let's say 7:30 o'clock tonight. 7:30 p.m. America, 7:30 Eastern time. We'll be back. And we will... And so 7:30 Eastern time works for everyone? Or is that too late for people? Would you prefer 6:30 Eastern time? Let me know, guys. Okay, judging by everybody's silence, I'm going to go for, let's say, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How about that? It'll give us all 2 hours. It'll be fantastic. Will Margaret be wearing a tank top in 2 hours? If you'd like me to. If that's the only way I can ever get views. Okay, so yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern Time is what we're going to go for here. Yeah, later's muffins. Buy muffins. I'll see you in 2 hours. It's going to be fantastic. Make sure to bring alcohol. I might get myself a bottle of wine. Okay. Bye, guys.